Now we're going to go live.
Okay, we good?
We're good. We are live.
Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm Julia Taylor, Council President in Lambertville. I just want to introduce our guests, and then we will go into some presentations, and we'll have time for questions and answers. So who we have with us tonight are Lisa Hibbs, who's the Vice President for Operations and Government Relations for Commercial Utility Consultants. Commercial Utility Consultants has been providing energy consulting services in the Mid-Atlantic region since 1975. And we have Vicki Malloy, who's the Vice President of Concord Energy Services. Concord has been providing energy consulting and energy aggregation services in the Northeast since 1989. Both Commercial Utility Consultants and Concord Energy Services are the program consultants and managers for the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative, which includes 17 towns in Hunterdon, Morris, Somerset, and the newest member in the city of New Brunswick in Middlesex County. And we also have, Jose Ortiz with Regional External Affairs Consultants with JCP&L. So thank you everybody for being here. As we've told you, we've gotten lots of questions from residents, just wanting to understand what's going on with the energy aggregation, with the status of the program, and how that relates to JCP&L and if that affects rates. So with that, I will turn it over. I think Lisa is kicking it off. Is that right?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you
Okay.
so much. So just a quick update on the program for those of you that had been in the first round of the program. Lambertville had joined the cooperative almost a year into its existence, and meters started flowing in May of 2020 and continued to be on the program rate through meter reads through November 30th, 2020. At which point everyone transitioned back over to JCP&L's basic generation service while we waited for the new program to kick off with meter reads in March. So I'm going to take the opportunity right now to play the program video. We did some presentations back in January leading up to the launch of the program. So I just want to play that. That will answer a lot of questions. It has the program rate, information about the green option, which is new this round for the co-op. And after that, I will walk you through some tools that we have online through the program's webpage. Residents can check their savings through the program. Online, you can also change your enrollment status in the program. You can opt out, opt in, and you can switch between the standard enrollment option and the 100% renewable option. So I will attempt to share my screen. Okay. This presentation provides information about the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative, a government energy aggregation program designed to save residents money on their electric supply charges. We should start by identifying the different parts of our electric service which were created by energy deregulation. Energy deregulation is the separation of distribution and supply. New Jersey has been deregulated since 1999. And since then, approximately 18% of residential customers have switched to a third-party supplier of their choice. As illustrated in the graphic, before 1999, your local distribution company would generate electricity and bill for the supply and distribution portion of your bill. After 1999, local distribution companies were, and still are, only responsible for the distribution of our electricity. They must buy the electricity from third-party electric suppliers. While local distribution companies still bill us for the distribution and supply portions of our bill, they send payments for the supply portion of our bill to the suppliers from whom they receive the electricity. How are electricity rates set in New Jersey? The New Jersey Board of Public Utilities, also known as the BPU, runs an annual statewide auction every February. Winning suppliers are selected by the BPU, and rates are set for everyone who is not already enrolled in their own contract with a third-party supplier. The rate set by the state will take effect in June of that same year and is referred to as the Basic Generation Service Rate or the default rate. The suppliers are referred to as Basic Generation Service Providers or BGS providers. If you are not currently enrolled with a third-party supplier and you look at your recent electric bill, you will see Basic Generation Service or BGS noted by your supply charges. The last BPU auction was held in February of 2021. Here is a look at the providers who make up the current BGS or default providers. What is government energy aggregation? The Government Energy Aggregation Act of 2003 was passed, allowing counties and municipalities to aggregate their load and compete for a cheaper electric price versus the local distribution company. In 2012, New Jersey Administrative Code Title 14 was passed, allowing municipalities to aggregate the residential users to compete for a cheaper electric price versus the local distribution company. All contracts and bid documents are sent to the BPU and Rate Council for review. The Department of Community Affairs, also known as the DCA, has oversight over the entire auction process. Your local municipality recently joined the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative, which competed against the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities Basic Generation Service Rate to save you money. The auction was open to all New Jersey licensed electric suppliers and was held on June 16, 2020. The auction prices were then compared against the utility's default rate. In order to move forward with the program, the winning rate had to be lower than the default utility rate. The program rate is non-variable and remains the same from month to month for the entire term. Participating municipalities in the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative include Alexandria Township, the Township of Bethlehem, the Borough of Califon, Chester Township, the Town of Clinton, Delaware Township, the Borough of Frenchtown, the Borough of Highbridge, Kingwood Township, the City of Lambertville, Mendham Township, the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone, and Washington Township. Here is a look at the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative's program term and rate. The supplier is IDT Energy. The standard option rate from March 2021 through November 2021, or April 2021 through November 2021 for residents in Peapack and Gladstone, will be 0.0867 cents per kilowatt hour versus the average JCP&L default rate of 0.09244 cents per kilowatt hour. This option meets the state's renewable portfolio standard of 23.5% renewable energy for energy years June 1st, 2020 through May 31st, 2021, and June 1st, 2021 through May 31st, 2022. In addition, the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative's GEA program now offers residents the opportunity to enroll in 100% renewable option at 0.0878 cents per kilowatt hour versus the average JCP&L default rate of 0.09244 cents per kilowatt hour. Residents can opt into this option by returning the response card included in their information kit, by calling the program's energy consultants at 866-688-5197 and through the program's webpage at www.njaggregation.us/HAEC. Again, these program rates are flat for the 9-month term, meaning that rates do not fluctuate from month to month. Here's what to expect next. You should have received a letter from your municipality explaining the program. The letter also included information regarding IDT Energy, the program rate, and options available should you choose not to participate. The program only includes residents who are not currently with a third-party supplier or solar customers. The notice was developed by the BPU and includes program information and options regarding non-participation in the program, including mail return, an 800 number, and a website. What to expect next? After the initial opt-out period, your utility, JCP&L, sent confirmation letters to anyone who didn't opt out of the program. Confirmation letters were mailed directly from JCP&L and included the resident's exact start date with IDT Energy. IDT Energy began serving electricity supply at the reduced program rates with residents' meter reads after March 1st, 2021, and for PPAC and Gladstone residents after April 1st. And here is a sample JCP&L bill. Please note the yellow arrows. The only line item that will change is where it's marked BGS Energy. This line item will be replaced with IDT Energy, and you will be charged the lower rate of either the standard option, which is 0.0867 cents per kilowatt hour, or if you've selected the 100% renewable option, 0.0878 cents per kilowatt hour. You will still receive one bill from JCP&L. JCP&L will now remit the supply portion to IDT Energy rather than the BGS providers. Let's review some frequently asked questions. Who do I call if my electric goes out? You will still call JCP&L as they remain responsible for the power lines. Will I be penalized if I do not become part of this program? No, you can choose not to participate in the program at any time for any reason with no fees or penalties. Will there be a different or two separate bills? No, you will continue receiving one bill from JCP&L. Does this hurt JCP&L? No. JCP&L remains your distribution company, and they will continue to bill for your electricity distribution and supply. The only change is that JCP&L will now send the supply portion of your payments to IDT Energy rather than to the BGS providers. Who do I call with billing questions? You can call JCP&L or IDT Energy. If I opt out, can I opt back in? Yes, you can opt in or out of the program at any time for any reason without fees or penalties. Is budget billing offered? Yes. Please see your energy information packet for more detailed information. What if I have a third-party supplier? If you are currently under contract with a third-party supplier, we recommend that you wait until the end of your contract and then opt in to the GEA program. Why do I have to opt out versus opting in? The opt-out option is an aspect of the program written by the Board of Public Utilities. The law requires us to follow the statutory guidelines in order to establish this type of program. What happens at the end of the initial program term? Approximately 4 months prior to the end of the contract term, we will ask the supplier, IDT Energy, if they can extend the current program rate for a new term. If IDT Energy can't extend the program at a reduced rate, we will schedule an auction for the participating towns in the cooperative. If no award is made, anyone participating in the program at the end of the current term will be returned to the basic generation service through JCP&L. Residents will be notified in writing if the program is being continued or if accounts will be returned to JCP&L's basic generation service. All right, that concludes the pre-recorded portion of the presentation. So right now, I'd like to take you through some information that we have set up on the program's webpage. So I want everyone to have an opportunity to write down that web address, which is www.njaggregation.us/HAEC. And this is what the program landing page looks like. And if we scroll down, you'll see a little bit of information that includes list of participating towns, program start date, program end date, the current pricing, and also the option for the green energy and that particular rate. Folks can click these buttons here to opt in and opt out. I'm not going to do that because it will take us down a little bit of a rabbit hole. Also, important dates are noted here. March 1st, 2021 was the date that the programs officially started. So with meter reads after March 1st, anyone who hadn't opted out of the program was re-enrolled in the program for round 2. So that starts with meter reads after March 1st. So you would not have seen the program return on your most recent JCP&L bill, right? Because we're just picking you up in March. So you'll see us on your April JCP&L bill. And here were some other dates from some presentations, just like the one you just watched back in January. And here's our end date for this current program term. So meter reads after November 30th. If we haven't secured a new program to start December 2021, folks will be returned back to JCP&L's basic generation service rate, just like you were back in January of this, December, January of this past year. So if we keep scrolling down, we'll see a little bit more information. Again, just talking about what is energy aggregation, how does this program work, how is it different than other solicitations you get in the mail, people knocking on your door, people calling you on the phone. I know it's pretty much nonstop, but this is sort of the one-stop shop for information about the city of Lambertville's participation in this energy aggregation program that we call the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative. So all of the information can be found here. If you do not have access to the internet, which is fine, give us a call at 866-688-5197, and we can mail you copies of anything, of any of the information kits that are on this website. We can also walk you through what the current program rate is, who the current supplier is, when the program is going to end, all of those things. So there is a video posted here, very similar to what we just watched together, and then all of the information kits that were mailed out for the newest round of the program, but also back in August. And I think this is sort of where the confusion comes in. Back in August, we had let folks know that we had gone out to auction and we were successful at auction. And it sort of talked about what happens between the end of the old program and the beginning of the new program. So this document was mailed out to everyone that was participating in the program as of September 2020. So it goes back a little ways. And it just describes, sort of what happens next, right? It was the little teaser. But if we go back, you can also find the information kit that was mailed out to folks in January about the program that was going to start in March. So you can still find all of that information here. Most important thing in this packet is this little contract summary. It breaks down very simply who the supplier is, gives you some contact information for them, talks about the pricing, and gives you JCP&L's phone number here. So in case you have any questions on the delivery side or the billing side, if you have a power outage, that's the number that you would call. So this is a pretty handy little piece of information to keep readily available. So back to some other things that we have on that web page. We have an online savings tool available to participating residents in the program. So what does that mean? That means that yes, while we talked about our sample bill, right, and the ability to see the program rate and how it's compared to the basic generation service rate for that billing period, you can actually track your savings online. Makes it a little bit easier over an extended period of time. That way you're not pulling, 5, 6 months worth of bills together to sort of track your savings. We make it a little bit easier for you to do that. And I will show you where to find that button. So if we go up here, there's a little drop down box by the word login. You would click residential login. And if we do that, this is what you see. So you would go in, you would select JCP&L as your utility company. This is the only tricky part. Account number. It does not want your JCP&L account number. What we're looking for here is your JCP&L 20-digit customer number. And you can find that on your bill under charges by JCP&L, and it'll start with a 08. That's the number that you'll put in as your account number. Since you are going to be a first-time user, you would need to select Set for First-Time Login. You'd need to click that button, at which point you will see this. It will take you in. It will take you to your landing page. So your customer number will be there, your name, your address, and the current rate at which you are enrolled in the program. So right now, this person is set to the standard option. If you wanted to change that to the 100% renewable option, you would just click this red button that says change rate, and you would scroll down and you would hit that 100% renewable option, and vice versa. Say you're in that 100% renewable option, and for whatever reason you decide that you want to go back to the standard, you would go through the same process to reset that. Also, on that piece of the web page, once you're in here, you'll actually be able to see your savings month by month. Yours will not look like this. This is someone in another program that we run. Just because you won't have any information, the program just started in March, so you won't have any savings data necessarily at this point. But once we do, you would see that. And we also track that your energy usage, just like that little graph appears on your JCP&L bill. You can also watch your usage through the program. This is very helpful for those of you on budget bill. You can see your actual usage versus what you pay through budget bill. Just so you can kind of keep an eye on the difference between estimated budget amount versus what you actually use. So this is a pretty helpful little tool. And that concludes our little video presentation, PowerPoint, for tonight. But I do want to just give you, again, an opportunity to write down our customer service number, which is 866-688-5197. And again, that web page address is www.njaggregation.us/HAEC.
Thank you, Lisa. Can
Sure.
you just revisit the auction schedule, and should people be prepared for there to always be a 3-month drop off, or is it supposed to be, or in an ideal setting, is
No,
this
it's
year
in an
round?
absolutely, Council. Well, yes, to your point, in an ideal setting, there wouldn't be a lag time at all. Just the way that we caught the market, it wasn't conducive to letting us have this seamless transfer from one program to the next. We did get a 2-month extension. Originally, our initial program, was scheduled to end with meter reads after September. We were able to get October and November included, just as a little extension to it, just to extend that savings just a little bit longer. Otherwise, there would have been a 4-month gap. So to your point, no, in a perfect world, we would have been seamless all the way through. There would have been no return back to the BGS. And I think that may have been why residents may have been targeted by some other third-party suppliers. They took advantage of, it's public knowledge, when programs are ending and programs are starting. And I think that the outreach by other third-party suppliers may have been heightened during those couple months. Residents should know anything about the program is going to come from the city of Lambertville. It's going to reference the Hunterdon Area Energy Cooperative. It will be in writing. No one will knock on your door. No one will phone call. It will be in writing. But again, if you ever have questions, just call that 866 number and we'll absolutely be able to help residents with billing questions, with questions just about, I got this letter in the mail, is this you guys? Those kinds of questions. We're happy to help residents with those.
Okay, and can you just or maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but what's the relationship between the BGS auction and the auction for us?
So the BGS auction is the state's auction. So that's the one that the BPU has back in February of every month. Those suppliers or providers are chosen then. They take over in June of that same year. Our auction happens at a different time in the calendar cycle, and it's based on when the market's most favorable or when we anticipate it being the most favorable to get residents a lower rate.
Okay, so it's not set, is what you're saying. That's
Nope,
yeah.
not set. Not set. Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Vicky or Jose, anything in particular you wanna add?
If I can probably add just a little bit to that. Just I guess the one question that I saw on the board there that I think I can answer for you folks is, is JCP&L affected? And I guess the other question is, if you're out of power, who do you call? Which you'll still remain to call JCP&L. Anytime you experience any power outage, we'll still be charging, and the bills will be coming directly from JCP&L through the mail. So we charge for the delivery side. That's to say all the poles and wires that transfer the energy throughout the township. You're still responsible for paying those rates to us. And therefore, we're still going to make sure that we can deliver the power to our customers when and where they need it, basically. If there's any questions that any residents might have or you folks have, I'm going to give you our supplier services phone number, which is 330-761-4348 that residents can call. You can also call the local number, which is the 201-662-3115, which is for our customer support specialists. These aren't per se the rate specialists that can help out, but if they have any basic bill questions, they can have everything answered there as well. And that's about it for me. Thank you.
Okay, so just one follow-up question. Is it the 330 number that if people should call if they have rate questions, or is it a separate number?
Right. So that first number, the 330, is for our supplier services, which handles anything to do with your account that is a supplier services in the sense of a third-party supplier. So they'll have any of the contracts on hand that they can look at to answer anything in terms of rates. I'm not aware if with this co-op, if we'll be able to firsthand see the rates. That might not be something, because there's a first time go for me with New Jersey kind of doing this whole group together with all the municipalities. But if there is a third party supplier at their discretion, they'll provide us with the rates, or they don't have to provide us with the rates. So that's something that we'll have on hand that we can look at individually.
Thank you. Vicky, go ahead, please.
Oh, I didn't want to add to that. Just that, if they do have questions regarding the rates, they can always call us directly too as well. JCP&L is there if you have any service issues for your meter reads, if, you have, a loss of power, there's still the utility, and they are, the distribution company that's delivering the electricity, providing safe and reliable service to you. With regards to the program, we're always available, our customer service team. So if they have any questions, they can definitely give us a call at our 866-688-5197 number.
Okay, thank you. I think then with that, we can, Cindy, do we have the ability to let people ask questions?
Yes, we do. If people are interested, we just should ask that they raise their hand, and we'll unmute them.
So if anyone has questions, please go ahead, raise your hand. We'll be happy to try to get it answered.
I'm not seeing any hands raised.
Okay. I am not seeing any hands raised either. So I guess in that case, there's nothing else our guests want to add, then we can wrap it up and get this posted for people?
Council President, the only thing I would say to the members of the public is that we recorded this and we will be posting this on our website. Should you or your neighbor or anybody in your family have a question, they'll be able to view this. And if they need any assistance and they weren't able to write down numbers or the website, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll help you in any way I can.
Thank you. Okay, Vicky and Lisa and Jose, thanks so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thank you
Council
very much.
President. Thank you, Cindy.
Go ahead.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.